Hello. So we're back. It's good to be here. This video is going to be about Shameless. Because why not? Let's do this, in my opinion. One of the greatest TV shows of all time. The whole plot of the show, the story, 11 seasons of greatness. What wouldn't you love more? I'm just going to be talking about the show, what I liked from it, the characters, their development, or, their downfall, and what I thought about everyone. I'm going to talk about the main characters, and then I'm going to talk about the side characters. Here we go. Let's do this. Starting off, we have Fiona Gallagher. Started the entire family, but as we all know, this was the main number one character in the show. Fiona, dude. There's a lot of respect to give to her, and then there's a lot of, I wouldn't say disrespect, but a lot of holy shit, the fall off is crazy. Taking care of her entire family ever since she was 9 years old because her mother ran out on her and her dad was a drug addict. Fiona did a lot, worked multiple jobs, fell in love, cheated on nearly every single dude that she got with. Got into it sometimes with her family. This woman had a lot of love for her family. As time passed on, problems came down, somehow turned into her dad and got into drugs a little bit and then got into drinking and kind of just lost it all and realized that enough was enough and she had to go. I really think that Fiona showed a lot of character in the show. You can do anything you put your mind to because taking care of, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, including Frank, 6 people. Are you kidding me? It's a lot, and it puts a lot of pressure on someone. For that, I'd say Fiona, she was a warrior, but she just couldn't handle it in the end. I guess that's all I have to say about her. For our second character, we have Lip Gallagher. Oh my gosh, Lip. This guy was such a dude. By far the smartest dude in the show, but also, as someone said, the dumbest, smartest person they've ever met in their entire life. Scamming to get around, trying to make as much money as possible, but doing great in school. Got into college, messed that up, turned into his dad, turned into an alcoholic. He had to build his life up from zero back up to what he could do. Lip went through it a lot. He saw a lot, he did a lot, but he never gave up. First it was Karen, then it was Mandy, then it was Sierra, then it was Amanda, and then it turned into Tammy. And Tammy was his happily ever after. Had a kid with her, Fred. Awesome. You can see how much of a turnaround Lip did when Tammy came into his life. He was back on his 2 feet. Tammy saved him. It's true. I think that Lip was the dad of the family, even though he was just the older brother. Kind of played Fiona's role, just someone that they could all look up to. Obviously f***ed up sometimes, but the definition of a true brother is Lip Gallagher. Our third character, Ian Gallagher. The start of it was crazy because he was framed by Mickey's sister, and then he had to come out to her, and I feel like this kind of shocked viewers in the show. The dude that wanted to smash his face ended up being his lover, which is Mickey Milkovich. And that was awesome to see because it was whoa. That's not really some stuff that you would expect. Ian went through a lot. It was the bullshit with the military, and then he's bipolar and went through this whole phase. He got out of the mental institution and kind of bounced his way back, becoming an EMT, and then he was just doing other stuff. There was other dudes that came into play with the show with Ian, but you can literally tell from the start of when Mickey and Ian were together that they were inseparable and they were literally endgame. So I think that literally Ian is not who he is without Mickey. Ian was a really good brother to everyone. I had problems with some people, got annoyed, but that's just what brothers and sisters do. And yeah, Ian was a good kid. He really was. Next, we have Carl Gallagher. White boy Carl. This kid was a G, okay? Carl was nuts. From the start, he was a crazy kid, and then as soon as he got a little older, he got in trouble, got into the wrong crowd, went to juvie, came out like a different man. He tried acting gangster. That didn't work out for him. He tried to bounce his life back, and he became a cop. A Chicago police officer. Whoa. Again, stuff you just don't expect in a TV show just randomly happen. Carl really did care for his brother and sister. Carl found love in the show. Throughout all the relationships, you could see that Carl tried. And, yeah, who knows? I guess it just wasn't enough. I think that the character development of being mature definitely stepped up for Carl, and I think that's what lucked out with him, with his character in the show. Next, we have Debbie Gallagher. Debbie, dude. I'm sorry. I literally, probably the most annoying person in this TV show. Had a kid at 15. Should have listened to Fiona. Didn't do that. Really irresponsible. Thinking that she was better than everybody else. And, God, that was annoying as there's not much, great to say about Debbie. She was just kind of pain in the ass, from the get-go. The biggest problem child is definitely her with all the stuff that happened. And, yeah. Oh, my God. Okay, we're gonna move on. Now we have Liam. Liam was a smart kid. They used multiple different Liams in the show, by the way. I obviously picked that up. He was not a troubled kid. Yes, he was a Gallagher. I just thought Liam very much so cared about his siblings, cared so much about Lip and Ian. Always there for Carl, loved Fiona. Kinda was annoyed with Debbie. In some aspects, he loved Frank a lot and, was obviously annoyed with Frank too. That's all I have to say really about Liam. Next, we got Frank Gallagher. This dude was a genius. A scam artist, made thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars doing bullshit work, smuggled drugs, and drank so much booze, but somehow got around. Yes, he was basically classified as homeless. He would just come in whenever he can, but he was always out doing dumb. The kids didn't even call him dad. They called him Frank. It's because they didn't respect him. They said, "Fuck you, you're a deadbeat dad." He hated his kids. He said this, and there were some times when Frank became a dad, he hated his family. You can literally tell he did not like any of them. If there was one person that I could say that Frank really went oh, I love you, it was Carl. Always had Carl's back. Sometimes they fought. Mainly those two, you can tell from watching the show that Frank loved Carl. He loved Liam, of course. That's his baby boy. I wish Frank got sober. That is something that I wish they did in the show, is that Frank got fully sober and turned his life around. I wish they did that, because that would have been the most insane, diabolical, crazy ass character development I would ever have seen in the show. Frank was nuts. Crazy dude. Next, we have Kev. Kev was basically the honorary uncle to the entire Gallagher family. Kev, to me, deep down, was a father in so many different aspects to all the Gallaghers. Was always there for them, always over, helped them with so much stuff. Kev was just a working class man in the south side of Chicago. Something that I really liked that Kev did was that he loved V. That was his wife. That was his woman. He loved her. The love he gave out to everyone around in the show was very special. So for that, that's all I gotta say about Kev. And now we have V. Didn't around when it came to her man, her children, and of course, the Gallaghers. Obviously got into it sometimes with Fiona and some of the siblings. That was basically Aunt V, but another older sibling to the Gallaghers. V and Fiona were best friends, and everyone loved V. And helped out Kev with the bar. V to me was one of the top characters in the show when it came to respect, getting stuff done, and being there for everyone. It's definitely V. And for our final main character, we have Mickey Milkovich. This is one scary ass dude. Mickey was in and out of prison all the time. Came from a difficult family. It was tough for Mickey. But when he had Ian, after the whole fighting stuff went down with him, and then they fell in love, and they got married, Mickey is not who he is without Ian. He cared so much about the Gallaghers, got into it sometimes with all of them, always fighting, always running from the cops. Just a problem with Mickey, but you can tell that he has a heart and cares a lot for people. Mickey was wild. I have all my main characters done. Now I want to talk about the side characters a little bit. Basically what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do a little thing about each side character that I think they did in the show. Because there's a lot. I'm just going to describe one little thing about them. Maybe a couple if it's a good side character. To start it off, we have Sheila. Basically the Gallagher's neighbor. She was so nervous all the time. Very much so cared about so many people around her, and I think that's what made her character so special. Next, we have Jody. What a weirdo. Karen's ex-husband. Next, we have Karen. This is deep down Lip's true love. Karen was always sleeping around with multiple dudes though. Got into it with Jody, and then became pregnant. Lip thought it was his kid. It wasn't. And then Karen got hit by a car, lost her memory, and then left the show. That sums it up for Karen. Mandy Milkovich. This was way before Tammy came into the picture. Mandy was nuts. Did pull a gun on her father though, but it was to protect Ian. Obviously Lip was standing right there. Crazy, but you can tell that she cared about Lip so much and loved him to death. I want to add that she cared about Ian so much too. They were like best friends. Terry Milkovich. This guy. This guy was scary. Pulled guns on his family. Pulled a gun on Ian. Pulled a gun on multiple people. This dude was in and out of prison. Literally the definition of a piece of shit. Sandy Milkovich. This was Debbie's lover. She was there towards the end. Debbie found out that she had a kid with someone else and said, get out of here. Tammy, Lip's lover. Basically, his wife. They had a kid named Fred. Got sick a little bit in the show and Lip was there for her. Tammy cared so much about Lip, even though at first she hated him. Throughout the show, you can see the love that she had for him. Cassidy. This chick was insane. In love with Carl. Carl was trying to help her become sober and then instantly fell in love with Carl. The only way from Carl to get away from her was to leave and go to the military, and he did. That girl is nutty. Svetlana. This woman was nuts, dude. Crazy Russian woman, was a prostitute that had a kid with Mickey because, you know, Terry's nuts. Wouldn't accept the fact that his kid was gay, and whatever. Svetlana got into it with V and Kev. Just a troubled person. That's pretty much it. Sammy. Dude. Oh my god. This girl. Sammy. Sammy, dude. Sammy was crazy. Kissing all up on Frank when it was her dad, when she didn't even know that, which I was like, what? She was just the most annoying person, just trying to feed off the Gallaghers and whatever, dude. Just such a loser. And her son Chucky, like, Sammy was by far the worst character in the show. Helene. Oh my god, dude. This woman, hot professor, was secretly getting with Lip, and her husband was letting her do this. That part weirded me out a little bit. Lip messed up by being with Amanda, and then Amanda did something stupid. It costed Lip for it. Helene had to stop talking to Lip, and that was the end of that. Another person we have is Amanda. It's another one of Lip's, you know, buddies. Smart girl, but she was very much so in love with Lip, and Lip was just kind of like, whatever. Next, we have Kelly, an army general, as her father was in love with Carl, cheated on him, got a disease, tried giving it to Carl, got called out for it. Carl was like, nope, get out of here. Don't with the Gallaghers. Sierra. This was the manliest thing that Lip did with her, was that he had to let her go because he knew that he didn't want to be around someone whose ex was a drug addict. You know what's nuts? Sierra, in real life, dated Ian in real life. That's so nuts to me. I found that out, and I was just like, whoa. Points in the show, though, you can tell that Lip was, I would say, like, in love, but it's like, yeah, I would say that. You know, he liked her a lot. He really did. And then, you know, it just didn't work out. John was Fiona's boss, then became lover, then became an almost husband until Frank exposed him because he was a junkie. Good on Frank. Honestly, dude, everyone hated Frank for that, but, you know, in reality, that, to me, that was respect. I know it's like hypocrisy because Frank was a junkie himself, but he called out bull. That was the end of Fiona and Sean. We didn't see Sean for a while and then came back sober. Just a weird situation. Sean was a little weird, but I mean, Fiona was in love, I guess. If I put these guys together, we only saw them at the bar and sometimes outside of it, but Kermit and Tommy, just the random bar guys. I think they were taking like an edible or something and then they got with each other. That was so funny. They were basically best friends. They were like the alibi regulars. They helped sometimes in the show with what they could do for the Gallaghers, and Kev and V, of course. Jimmy, or Steve, or Jack, whatever his name was. We'll call him Steve for this one. I wish that Steve didn't get involved with all of the bull because you can tell that they were endgame. They were in love, dude. Oh my god, I wish they ended up with each other. Got involved with the wrong people, was doing dumb shit, breaking into cars, got caught for it. Totally different life that Debbie caught him on, and oh, dude, I'm so mad that him and Fiona didn't end up together. I wish they did, though. I saved this one for last. It just works out pretty well. Monica Gallagher. This is the Gallagher's mom to Fiona, Lip, Ian, Carl, Debbie, Liam, and is the ex-wife or wife to Frank Gallagher. A junkie who ran out of the family and then tried to come back and cause bull. Monica was just such a dopehead. Again, what I wish in the show was that I wish Monica came back sober, tried being in their life, and then the same thing with Frank. I wish they just came back sober and just started a new life with the family. You know how insane that would have been for the show? That would have been so nuts. Even though Monica was a druggie, she did care about her family. Even though it was hard to show, you can tell she did. She just caused so much shit in their lives, especially Fiona and Lip. They didn't with her at all. The Gallaghers did it by themselves, and there's no one else to thank but them. When they smuggled drugs under her grave, or inside her grave, wherever it was, and then they had to dig up her body to get it out to pay this drug dealer the money that they owed him, that was a scary thing. It was a weird thing to witness on a TV show. But, again, as Frank said, that's the disgusting, beautiful smell of Monica. Okay, and that is it. I have talked about the main characters and the side characters of the show, of my take of what I thought about the show Shameless. This is just my opinion. Don't get mad. I talked quite a bit about it. On a scale of 100%, I swear to God I'd give it 100%. Of how good the show was, how long it ran for. Every episode was like 45 to 50 minutes long. And God, it's just so much to the story to watch their lives growing from small little ones to growing up to adults, from young adults growing up to literal adults. If there was a TV show that I would want to act in one day that is similar to something, it would be Shameless, 1000%. Thank you guys so much for watching this YouTube video. It's been a long month, but I'm glad I got to get this video out. If you did stay till the end, give this video a big thumbs up, and comment your favorite part of the video or your favorite part about Shameless, because what a beautiful show. Southside Chicago, crazy adventures, so much to love about the show. It was special. It was so great. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys again soon. All right, peace out.